Hello and welcome to Lions University 130, Beyond Your Club, a Lions University course brought to you by Lions USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum. My name is Past District Governor Mike Retzloff, and I'm also the Dean of Bachelor Studies. And I will be helping out behind the scenes for our webinar today. We'd like to remind you that this webinar is being recorded for those who cannot attend this live session, or if you'd like to review it at a later time. You'll be able to participate in this webinar by asking questions or responding to questions by using the question pane in the control panel or by raising your hand to be called on and be unmuted to respond verbally. Beyond Your Club is course number LU 130. It's an elective course for the bachelor's program that is designed to help Lions lead at the club level. The bachelor's program involves the completion of 10 required courses and at least 5 elective courses. You can see all the courses that are currently available or scheduled by going to the appropriate program summary page on the lionsuniversity.org website. For each course, we also have a course page that includes additional details. And you will see on the very next slide that this is an example of course Lions University 104 for the bachelor's program. And you can register for the webinar or watch the webinar video after it has occurred. With our system, now you monitor your own course completions by selecting My Account and then selecting the appropriate program. This one is a bachelor's program. There's also a master program, or if you desire to go to the doctorate program. Once you've completed a phase of the program, such as the required courses, the elective courses, or the required experience, you can apply for credit and complete the relevant information. Once it has been verified, your profile will be updated. So let's move into our topic for today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you one of our newest faculty members, past council chair from Tennessee, MD 12, Brandon Johnson. Give you a little bit of information about Brandon. Brandon hails from La Follette, Tennessee, and he was elected to serve as the council chairperson by the MD 12, Council of Governors in 2019. He is proud to be the youngest council chairperson and district governor to ever serve in Lions Club International. Council Chair Johnson is the general manager of his family's automotive and tire business. He's received 2 bachelor degrees and his Master of Business Administration degree from East Tennessee State University. As a member of the Campbell County Lions Club, past Council Chair Johnson has been a Lion since 2012, and I've had the pleasure to know him for those 8 years. He's held many offices within the association, including district governor, multiple district treasurer, multiple district NAMI chair, multiple district public relations chair, and charter club president. He is also a former Leo. He has many awards, and it would take me half an hour to read just half of them. So I'm sure that if you want to get a hold of him and ask him how he does it all, it's quite an amazing story. I've had the privilege of being able to talk to him. In addition to his Lions activities, past Council Chair Johnson is active in several professional and community organizations, including multiple Masonic organizations, the Rotary Club, and the Sigma Chi fraternity. Brandon was one of only 3 Lions to ever be appointed by Tennessee's governor to serve as a commissioner on volunteerism and service. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you past Council Chair Brandon Johnson.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's great to be with everybody tonight. Mike was talking about my bio there, and he got to an award section, and I think my best thing is Mike's wife, Sherry, gave me a big kiss on the cheek last time I saw her. So we'll chart that right up there at the very top. So it's great to be with friends tonight. Looking through the attendees list, there's so many of you all that I know. This is kind of a first for me. I've done some virtual things where it's been recorded and then pushed online afterwards, but I've never done anything live. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to join you all tonight and talk about opportunities beyond your club. So some objectives for tonight, we want to discuss some of these great opportunities outside of your local club, finding ways to serve, lead, and grow that complement the current journey that you're on. So we're not advocating in this course for anything that's going to take away from what you're currently doing. We want it to be a nice complement and grow this wonderful Lions Club experience that we all love so much. So we're going to talk first about a couple of leadership opportunities. And being a bachelor's course, this is a course that is really geared for some of the Lions that are just starting to dip their toes into the world of Lionism. So many of you all may have already served as club secretary or club treasurer or club membership chairperson. We're going to be talking tonight, especially in the first half of this session, about the opportunities as club president, zone chair, region chair, district governor, and council chair. So first, let's chat a little bit about zone chair. Most folks are very familiar with what a club president does, but what exactly does a zone chair do? Well, typically they are going to help guide and mentor 4 or more clubs. Now, let me add that that number is not set in stone anywhere, and it's completely up to the discretion of your district governor. In fact, in District 12N, where I call home, it seems like every few years a governor wants to shift up the way that they organize zones. So maybe it's by clubs that are a little more like-minded. Sometimes it's for clubs that are geographically connected. Sometimes we've seen zones with as few as 2 or 3 clubs and as many as 8 or 10 clubs. When I was district governor, I reorganized the zones because I wanted large and robust zones. I wanted zones where at a zone meeting you would hopefully have a lot of people versus some of the smaller crowds that we sometimes see. When serving as zone chair, you were the primary link between the clubs and the district. So when I had the opportunity to serve as governor, the zone chairs were the folks that were out there all of the time talking to the clubs, not just the club presidents and secretaries, but talking to the members, networking with the new members. I was checking in pretty much weekly with the vast majority of my zone chairs, asking, hey, I'm worried about this club. What's their current status? Or, wow, this club just reported a huge service project. What's going on with that? How can we learn from them, and how can we grow and share that outside of their club into the zone and the region and the district, etc. A huge responsibility of the zone chair is actually hosting what we call zone meetings, but technically they're referred to as district governor advisory meetings. We're going to be talking a little bit more about these meetings and what they entail. The zone chair is also going to work with the district GAT, the Global Action Team. That Global Action Team is chaired by the district governor, but includes the global membership, service, and leadership, GA, GS, and GLT district chairpersons, so that they can kind of work to coordinate. It's great to kind of facilitate that conversation because your district GST may want to implement a new service project, or your GLT may be looking for some up-and-coming new leaders to send to a great Lions leadership opportunity. Your zone chair is going to be the person that's able to pick out and identify and network with those people and help make that connection. Also, something that I find really important for the zone chair, but not technically one of their responsibilities, is promotion of the Club Excellence Award. To so many people, what a good club is so diverse. It depends. A standard for one club may be totally different than a standard from another club, and it's hard to get everybody kind of on board with one threshold. But in my leadership, I found that promoting the Club Excellence Award was a great way to do that, and provided a number of check marks that were easily attainable with a little hard work from clubs to be able to receive, and that recognition was really nice. So I always encourage zone chairs to go out and promote that award. Zone meetings. We're going to talk quite a bit about zone chair tonight because it is the next step beyond your club, and honestly, it's one of my favorite positions in all of Lionism, if not my favorite that I've experienced so far. These zone meetings are typically going to be held quarterly. Many of you all have been to them. but it's such a great opportunity to network, learn, and grow. But along that, we want to make them fun for members. And I'll be talking about some zone meetings that we held here in the next slide. And one area where I find zone chairs really fall short is in their promotion. They may have a great opportunity for a zone meeting. It may be one of the most fun events for the zone to take part in the year, but they end up maybe just sending it to club president. As zone chairperson, I send it out to every single member in that zone, let the club president and secretary know ahead of time what was kind of coming down the pipe. And we had great attendance at every single zone meeting. We want to make these zone meetings or district governor advisory meetings short, sweet, and memorable. Folks, I'm here to tell you, none of your members want to come to a 2 or 3 or 4 hour zone meeting like I've been to before. We need to make sure we need to have an agenda. We need to make sure that the time that our members are investing in this meeting is well rewarded, and at the end of it, they walk away feeling refreshed, not exhausted from how long it was. Here's one of my favorite zone meetings that we held. Many of you all know our now past International Director, Jerome Thompson, who's been a great friend to so many of us across Constitutional Area 1 and 2. He's currently serving as the geographic area GAT leader and doing a great job working there. But here was actually a zone meeting. Our zone meetings in this zone, for reference in years past, had brought, unfortunately, 10, 15, maybe 20 members. This one was held at a local country club where the president of my now alma mater, East Tennessee State University, Go Bucks, came to speak. And then seated International Director Jerome Thompson was also on the agenda. So he came from Alabama all the way to Upper East Tennessee, about a 6-hour one-way drive, 12-hour round trip to come and speak. But these are the kind of informative meetings that we had. But not every zone meeting was all business. Given that it's kind of the spooky season right now in October, I thought I would bring this one up. This is a zone meeting where we brought out clubs and we said, hey, we're going to get together. We're going to have a meal. You can come and fellowship. Then we're going to have a pretty quick meeting. If you want to be in and out for an hour for your zone meeting, you'll technically have accomplished everything. But we're also going to go on a ghost walk. And we found a person that gave a somewhat historical, somewhat fabricated ghost stories of our downtown area, and Lions walked around. Here's some pictures from that night of just actually one group that went on the ghost tour. We had several different groups. It was so large we had to break folks up. But what we found happening is, as the tour guide kind of went around throughout these different locations, they would stop at a stoop or a front porch of a business and tell a story. But in between that, club leaders were speaking with each other. They were networking. Friendships were being made. And all of a sudden, out of that came, hey, my club does this service project. Oh, well, we do something similar. How do you do it this way? And what happens when this happens? And all of a sudden, in the midst of this kind of fun activity, we saw some really good productivity come out of it. And that's one of my favorite zone meetings to this day. Again, if I had it to do over again, I think I would be zone chair every single year for the rest of my life. Obviously, that's not realistic, but by far my favorite opportunity, because those quarterly meetings, you could really get people excited and kind of have some really unique opportunities along the way. So another thing that is next up from the zone chair in the kind of Lions hierarchy beyond your club is the region chairperson. Now, this will typically consist of 2 or more zones. I have seen a region chair before assigned to just govern and help one zone. I've seen a region chairperson that is helping to organize and manage 5 or 6 different zones. Again, that is completely up to the discretion of the seated district governor. And this position is also completely optional. So in District 12N, where I call home, we have had region chairs the vast majority of the years that I've been a member. We found something really nice that worked well is actually combine the region chair and the vice district governor position. And so we had, when I was district governor, 6 different zones, 2 different regions, so 3 zones in each region. Each region chair was held by a different person kind of concurrently. So the second vice district governor was also our region 1 chair. The first vice district governor was region 2 chair. And what happened is, as they kind of moved up in rank in our association, they got to work with those clubs. So even though they may be from a completely different side of the district, different geographic area, they were still going, and the region chairs were going to the zone chair meetings, helping the zone chairs stay on task. And what happened is when they were traveling through doing these zone and region meetings, they were picking out their future leaders. They were saying, hey, they have been an all-star club secretary. They served a year as president. What can we do to get them to serve as district secretary? And things like that. And it really seemed to help a lot of our vice governors, once they took the office of district governor, be a little more prepared. A lot of you all have currently served as district chairpersons, which is phenomenal. There are technically, and this kind of blew my mind as I was doing research, only 14 officially recognized committee chair positions. Now, in our district, we wanted to shrink our list, but we currently have, before I took office as governor, either 40, mid-40s, late 40s, maybe even 50, 52 or so different positions by the time you consider zone chairs and region chairs and Leo Club chair and all of that kind of thing. But these are the 14 officially recognized committee chair positions. Convention, who's going to help organize your district and maybe even a multiple district convention. Diabetes, the honorary chairperson. Information technology, Wendy Kane, who's on here, has been our information technology guru for a while. Thanks for that. Marketing, which is something that I've kind of fallen in love with. Reading action program. Youth camps and exchange. So we in our district technically have a youth camps and exchange chairperson, since it is officially recognized by LCI, but our district does not currently participate in that program. Childhood cancer, environmental, hunger, Leo clubs, peace poster, vision, and Lions Quest. And while that is the 14 officially recognized, your district's not forced to have one of those or to fill that position if it's something that doesn't necessarily fit in your district. We don't really support actively as of right now a Lions Quest program. So that was something in our district that we didn't really feel the need to fill. But one reason I wanted to show this is maybe your passion right now is you're the club marketing chairperson. Well, boom, your district may not even have a marketing chairperson, and that would be a great opportunity to step up, lead, get more involved, and display your passion. District governor. So everybody's kind of familiar with this, so I won't spend too terribly much time on it. This is the first elected position truly at the district level. Is going to be your vice governors, second and first, and then district governor. The chief administrative officer of the district and serves as leader of the district governor team. So we all are very familiar with the district governor, leading conventions, etc. So I won't spend too much time talking about that opportunity. Council chair. Council chair is great because it is such a unique position. I'll be honest, it was probably the most stressful position that I've had the opportunity to hold. Very rewarding, but also very difficult because you're dealing with such a wide array of different issues. It is elected different ways in each multiple. We'll be talking about that briefly, but it is the chief administrative officer and chairs the Council of Governors. So a lot of times your council chairperson is going to be the spokesperson for the multiple district. Those duties, however, vary dramatically. There are multiple districts throughout Constitutional Area 1 and 2 and other constitutional areas where the only thing that is kind of across the board is the council chair chairing the Council of Governors, as their name implies. Something that I thought was pretty unique, though, we're going to look at these three different districts, or multiple districts, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and South Carolina. You see, in Tennessee, we elect our council chair out of the immediate past district governors. So when the district governors are currently seated, they decide who may want to run. We could have 1, 2, 5 run, for example, and the incoming district governors elect them. Now, for my friends in Pennsylvania, where the wonderful Marilyn Wagner is currently serving as council chair, they are technically elected, but it's actually a rotation system. Since they have 17 different districts and they're such a large multiple, they wanted to try their best to kind of get the politics out of it. So what happens is once every 17 years, the immediate past district governor from that district serves. So if you were District A and it was your turn, you would serve a year as district governor and then a year as council chair. So very kind of unique system there. Texas also follows a very similar pattern. That's very in contrast, though, to my friends in South Carolina, who I personally think have the best system. And what they do, even though they only have 2 districts, is when their vice governors are in office, they actually elect a vice council chair. And that person is someone from out of the pool of past district governors. They elect them, and then when the vice governors become governors, the vice council chair becomes council chair. So I think it's really unique that council chair, district governor is very similar throughout every district in the world. Typically, they'll serve a second vice governor, first vice governor, and then district governor. Council chair, though, just varies so far across the board that it's really unique and interesting to study each different multiple district. So now we're going to be looking at a couple of different leadership development opportunities. RLLI, ELLI, ALLI, FDI, LCIP. Yeah, I know that was a whole lot of alphabet soup, but don't worry, we'll be talking about those. First is one of the grassroots training, the Regional Lions Leadership Institute. This is typically held by each multiple district. So there are multiple districts that will sometimes kind of change that, and it may be more of a geographic region of a constitutional area, but it seems more and more common now that it's held by each multiple district. So Tennessee has held several Regional Lions Leadership Institutes, and we do encourage participation from other, especially neighboring multiple districts, if they're not having an RLLI. But this is something that is really locally funded and organized with some help typically from LCI along the way through grants. This is something that, for better or worse, is replacing the ELLI, which we will mention briefly, but the Emerging Lions Leadership Institute. There was so much overlap between the two that it is somewhat phasing out as a program, and RLLI is currently phasing in. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Some really great topics covered: diversity, Lions fundamental, things about local issues, which is unique because it's one of the only institutes that talks about what's going on in your home district or multiple and opportunities to lead then. Motivating club members, personal mission statements, etc. You can see all of those listed. There are typically no requirements for attending an RLLI. Now, that may vary some by multiple, but just being a Lion, it's especially targeted at newer Lions, kind of just like this course is, and having not attended an RLLI before. So kind of the only consistent no-no is that you've not attended one before, and you can only attend one once. ALLI. Now, this is my favorite out of all of the institutes. I see some folks on the attendees list from the Advanced Lions Leadership Institute that I participated in. It was a life-changing experience for me. I attended it in 2014 in Chicago, and it prepares individuals to lead beyond the club level. Zone, region, district, multiple district, and higher. Advanced Lions Leadership Institute is so important, in my opinion, that we have really started nearly requiring it for our second vice district governor to attend if they haven't yet. A biggie for this is you must have served as club president, and depending on participation, they will actually allow sometimes if you're currently serving as club president to attend, but you cannot be currently first vice district governor. So if you're currently serving as district governor, unfortunately, as a participant under the current rules, you have missed your opportunity to attend Advanced Lions Leadership Institute, which is really sad. About 150 folks were in the ALLI class that I was in, and for me, it was truly life-changing. It gave me some of my best friends, like my buddy Michael Gibbs, who I talk to just about every day, and I think is actually on this call, and just some of the people that along the way have supported me and encouraged me and been sounding boards. And I've been able to say, hey, we're at roughly the same place on this kind of Lions leadership journey. You know, maybe you're currently serving as district governor or served as council chair 2 years ago, but all kind of in that same world. These are 150 people that I have no shame whatsoever picking up the phone and saying, hey, I need some help, I need some advice, or I just need to vent and complain. Topics that are covered there include leadership fundamentals, developing teams, promoting the Lions image, which is so important in a world where, unfortunately, we're the best kept secret, project management, conflict resolution, delegation, LCIF, service journey, and developing leaders. The LCIF training there was very, very important to me. I kind of dismissed it when it happened and truth be told, was probably playing on my phone while they were going over it. Sorry to my instructors, but it really served me well as a class because it was just a couple of years after my attending of ALLI where I needed to apply for an LCIP emergency grant, and in the past have been able to do that several times for some of my friends. So the training there is top tier. Here is something kind of neat. I was going through some old pictures. You can see baby Brandon there. The only thing that has changed is I put on a couple pounds. Lions is the only organization that can bring together an accountant from Trinidad and Tobago, a wildlife and fisheries expert from Wyoming, a Mountie from Canada, and me, a redneck from Tennessee. I wrote that back in 2014 on my Facebook and found this picture, and I just thought it was so fitting because it does bring together such a diverse and unique background. My good friend Anwar is there from Trinidad and Tobago, and every time we're at a forum, we're now connecting with each other and hanging out and introducing and catching up. And that's one thing that's just wonderful about Lions is the people that you meet. And to me, ALLI was so strong for that. Faculty Development Institute. So we're kind of going in somewhat of building blocks here, although every single institute is important depending on where you are in your leadership journey. Some are more key for you. Faculty development really trains skills for presenting at the club, district, and multiple district level. So this is not, I want to be kind of clear, not really something that's going to truly prepare you to develop your own curriculum. This is a training that takes pre-canned things and takes it to the table and hands it to you, and you teach that. So this has nothing on developing your own curriculum. It is a little different than some FDIs in the past and some different trainings. They've kind of changed it. But the topics that you'll learn about, training basics, adult learning dynamics, which strangely enough is very different than child learning dynamics. And so you learn things to prepare for your trainings, new skills, interactive learning, training environment. And one thing that's really unique is in my course where I did Faculty Development Institute, they recorded you giving a very brief speech at the beginning. You did your 3 or 4 days worth of training, and then they recorded you at the end. And the hallmark difference between the first and the second would absolutely blow your mind. Where ALLI typically will accept somewhere usually around 150 participants in Constitutional Area 1 and 2, faculty development, my experience, is more targeted at about 40. So a lot of us had to apply multiple times, make a really, really strong application and say, hey, here's why I think I deserve to be in faculty development. I'm going to take what I learned there and train people at my district. I'm going to train incoming vice governors, for example, at the multiple district level. FDI is going to help me really expand those skills. Here is, they broke us down into kind of different groups of 10 or so at our faculty development. And this was my group. Again, just some absolutely incredible people that I had the chance to network and learn and grow with. And still people, especially when it comes to training. The big guy that falls right behind me sitting there, his name's John Moon, one of my best friends on this earth. And anytime I'm giving a training session, I'll say, hey, John, do you care to review this for me? Let me know if you think I'm doing it right. And he'll give me some constructive feedback. And it's not just the course, but it's the things that stay with you afterwards and the friendships that make such an impact. LCIP. Now, this may be one that people aren't quite as familiar with. The Lions Certified Instructor Program. This is currently pretty much labeled as the premier training that Lions Clubs International offers. It is the training that is required for an individual to be faculty at an ALLI, an FDI, or at an LCIP. It is incredibly competitive because there are no, as with ALLI, you can't have served as district governor, etc. There are kind of no holds barred. Everybody across Lionism can apply for this. There's only been a couple of classes of it so far. They're working to certify more trainers. Fingers crossed, I've applied for the upcoming training in May, I believe is when it is. And so I'm really hoping that I'm one of the few that makes the cut. But this is the most competitive, the premier. It is going to give you the information that is needed to develop your own course. So kind of like how this course right here has been developed, it is going to help take that to the next level. Some topics for it include characteristics of successful Lions leaders, preparing for training sessions, communicating with clarity, positive learning environments, active learning, and managing training. And so it's kind of interesting when we were preparing for this, one of the organizers said, "Hey, Brandon, do you have any, Q&A opportunities in the middle to make sure people aren't bored? If you're bored at home, I'm sorry." And I thought to myself, no, I don't, but that probably would have been a good idea. I would gamble that's something that they would include at LCIP under active learning and managing training. So obviously I need a little more help along the way as well. The forum, there's Wendy Kane, who is our upcoming forum chairperson in Des Moines. I hope to see all of you all there. I'm so excited for it myself. Very sad it got canceled this year. I was looking forward to Kentucky, but here's one of my favorite forums, the Grand Forum in Grand Rapids, Michigan in 2015. This is actually members of the campus club that I belonged to, that I chartered back in 2014. We took 10 campus club members, traveled to Grand Rapids, had the absolute time of our lives. Several of these individuals are still involved in Lionism. To my left, kind of the right we're looking at, it's my good buddy Jesse. He is actually working in finance in New York City. To my right, the current left, is my good buddy Robert Martin. He is a state policeman in the state of Virginia. All of these Lions, I could tell you something great about them, and they would go back and say, "Listen, the training that I learned at the forum, the networking, the friendship that I made at the forum has made such a difference." In fact, Jesse, who works in New York City, sent me a picture not too long ago with a Lion in New York City that was there on a little holiday vacation, and they were able to meet up for lunch and a couple other opportunities to hang out and get reconnected. And so if you've not attended the forum, I know you know all about it, but I can't share enough good things about it. Abroad opportunities. This is something that I have been incredibly blessed to have the opportunity to attend 2 times now, and doesn't look like a third this year because of COVID, but maybe next year. I'll cross my fingers. I was able to join the Lions of the British Isle for their new Lions Symposium. This is some training courses that are targeted at younger Lions and newer Lions, so typically those under the age of 40 and with less than 5 years of service. But in our association, both of those things are possible, but one or the other kind of at a minimum. This is incredible. When you're talking about what's beyond your club, this is the kind of stuff that is beyond your club. To the left in the picture is Per Christensen, who's a PID from Denmark, Phil Nathan. All of these people, when I was going through the ranks as district governor and council chair, were constantly giving me feedback, opinions, a very different and diverse view from what I may be seeing here in my own district. You are going to go out, and if you attend forums and go through the leadership ranks and international conventions and maybe forums in other constitutional areas. For example, the Europa Forum was online this year virtually. I was so excited to join them for that, but it was supposed to be in Thessaloniki, Greece. And so there's some really cool opportunities out there abroad. Go out, make the friends, attend, and have the courage to do that. It will really change your life. So those are kind of the things that I really wanted to highlight, some of the most exciting opportunities beyond the club level. These are things that I didn't really know when I was just at the club level. I didn't realize there was so much to Lions. If you were on this call or reviewing this course, it's obvious that you have a true thirst for knowledge, that you want to learn more about our association. And these are some steps to kind of get more involved and learn more along the way. So just to recap, we wanted to discuss some opportunities for Lions outside of your local club. Hopefully we accomplished that, and find ways to serve, lead, grow, maybe have fun in ways that complement what you're currently doing. Thank you so much for everybody being on. I know this is a weird time and kind of a weird world, but I'd now like to open the floor to some questions. And you will have to forgive me. I am pulling up now, and we are currently looking at some questions. Are there any questions while we're on the call?
Brandon, I want to say something. I was part of your ALLI class And I have to agree that
Yes, you are.
the winds of change really have done an awful lot for our association.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Would you say it's fair to say that our winds of change at ALLI class was life changing, Mike?
Oh, was it ever? I never ever thought that I'd be a district governor, much less a major part of our Lions University, and that certainly opened the doors and showed me the way.
Back
Okay.
6 years ago in 2014, you couldn't have paid me enough to be a district governor. So,
I have a
Brandon, this is
a-
Gary. There's a chat question that says, hold on. How do you recommend Lions who don't know anyone beyond their club to get involved?
yeah, that's an absolutely great question. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think one of the most important things to get involved outside of your club level is to go and attend some of those meetings. For me, it may kind of come as a shock to people that know me. I get a little nervous sometimes when I go into a room and I don't know anybody. I get nervous, but the really remarkable thing about Lions is it brings together so many different people of different races, creeds, religions, backgrounds, diversity, just galore. But the one thing that brings us all together is our passion for service. We all are a part of Lions, not for any personal gain or benefit, but to be able to help somebody along the way. And it's really neat when you show up to a place, maybe it's an institute, maybe it's a zone meeting, maybe it's your district convention or international convention, and find tens, hundreds, thousands, depending on where you're at, of people that are so different from you that all want to do the same thing, and that's make our world a better place. So I would encourage you to get out there, put yourself out there, attend these meetings, find people and network and make friends, and I promise you that the payoff personally and the increase to your life quality from doing this will be unmeasurable.
Okay, I have a question from Tihas Patel. He asked, what are some good resources to access online training? I'm guessing he's asking beyond the training programs with Lions University.
Yeah, that is great. Thank you so much, Lion Patel, for asking that. There are some opportunities. Now, candidly, back in 2015, 2016, when Lions University was being formulated, in my opinion, it was kind of revolutionary. And what the organizers, what the coordinators for the different degree programs are doing in a lot of ways for Lions is revolutionary, because there's just not a ton of training out there. Lions Clubs International does have some online training that I would encourage you to check out. Also, something that's really neat are all of the forums. So like right now, the European forum is still available, I do believe, for like 90 days. So being able to go through and look at upcoming forums, and since they're going virtual, it's a great opportunity to learn more about outside of your constitutional area one. So constitutional area in Europe opened it up to all of the world. So you could be here in kind of Podunk, Tennessee, and learn what's going on there. And they also translated it into several different languages, French, German, English, and maybe something else, Italian. And so it was very accessible to people. So I'd make sure to check that out. Continue your Lions training, get your bachelor's, masterate, and doctorate degree in Lionism. Check out those online courses and see what other forums also have to offer.
Another question is, how can clubs from two different countries collaborate? This person is in the middle of planning a virtual twinning.
Right. So Lions Clubs, unfortunately, did cancel kind of the official twinning program. Why that happened or what the thought process behind that, for better or worse, I can't comment on. But that doesn't mean that clubs can't go out and do that. So I have heard of clubs that are engaging in cultural exchanges. So maybe one member goes and visits and another member comes and visits. I've seen things like that happen. I have also seen clubs that get together and say, hey, on May 28th, it is National Plant a Tree Day. We would like to plant one tree in our country for every one of your members. would you be willing to plant one tree in your community for every one of our club members? Something like that is so unique and allows not just the clubs to learn about their communities, but to also maybe learn about a different culture and a different background. And in this world that we live in, I don't think we can say enough good things about learning about each other, learning about each other's culture, being more accepting and open-minded of that culture. After all, that's what Lions Club's all about. We're the world's largest nonprofit organization, largest humanitarian organization, and I believe the largest force for good in the world. So go out there, encourage people. It is sometimes difficult to maybe contact a club. One thing that I found that's really beneficial is to find clubs that are active on social media. So earlier we were talking about Thessaloniki, Greece. They have a wonderful club Facebook program. Every single day it seems like they're posting new content, sharing what their members are doing. Go on there, type on Facebook, Lions Club, see what pops up. Our multiple district has a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So there's a lot of ways to connect and kind of learn more about each other. Thank you for the question.
Those are all the questions I have currently. This is past council chair Gary Steele. I'm the coordinator for Lions University, and just a general reminder that the 3 programs that we offer are training programs and certificate earning programs. They are not considered degrees because we are not an accredited university. So, but that doesn't say that the training is not well worth taking your time.
That's for sure. As there are no more questions, Brandon, I want to thank you so very much for taking the time to put this program together and for joining us this evening. I know everybody that was on board appreciated your candor and certainly your hospitality that you give to us. I had some questions that Gary didn't see is how do we learn to speak Tennessean? So maybe that'll be a class of the future. I would like I'd like to remind everyone to take the quiz. That if it's not online yet, it will be shortly. So you can go ahead and receive credit for this course. I'm going to thank you all for participating. The next Bachelor Program webinar will be on November 24th, and it will focus on your club membership committee. And that'll be Lions University course 124. It also is an elective. Email reminders will be sent out as courses are added to the schedule. I know I have a couple that are in the works and some new and exciting instructors, presenters, if you will, such as Brandon. Please exit the webinar by selecting Exit the Webinar from your file menu of your control panel. And we certainly look forward to seeing you on future webinars through Lions University and next year in Des Moines. For this evening, that's it. Thank you very much again for attending this webinar. And Brandon, again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me. See y'all.